video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
I'm KJ Wright from the Seattle Seahawks, and you're watching NORBFAM.
This is Walter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Nate Burleson, you're watching NORBFAM.
And you're watching NORBFAM.
What's happening, everybody? This is NORBFAM coming at you this victorious Monday, day after the Seahawks' big win over the Arizona Cardinals to find ourselves here in, first place in the NFC West. Unbelievable. Hope you guys can see me okay. Making sure that everything's good here on the YouTube side of things. We got this live stream going on YouTube as well as on Facebook at the same time as well. So appreciate you guys joining me here. Shout out to the sponsor of the show, BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. If you sign up right now, you can use that code YouTube150 to get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit and 125% on your next two, up to $2,000. If you want to partake, make sure it's just legal where you're from before you do so. We're going to talk a little bit Seahawks to answer this question, which is, are the Seahawks, after what we've seen so far, to find ourselves in first place in the NFC West, are we a playoff team? Are we a playoff team? That's a good question, right? I like what we see so far, but I'm curious, how legit is this first place spot that we're in right now? All right, so to do this, we got a couple of different ways you can chime in. We've got the telephone number with the code. You can call in there, 202-926-1076, code 696153. The lines are already lit up right now. You can also join on Discord, and you can join on the voice stream over there as well. I'll kind of bounce between the two of them. So, we're going to do a little bit of both and, just see where this goes. So, I want to explain a little bit here now. Some of you may be wondering, what happened here? What's up with this little deal here? So I had a little bit of an issue with, I took a little fall yesterday. Nothing serious, but me and Vanessa we were doing handstands, or trying to do handstands, and I kind of lost my balance and I fell on my face on the rug and got a rug burn right here. And it was bad enough to where the skin was exposed, and it stung like hell. So I thought I should probably put something on there before it gets messed up. So anyway, that's why I got this Nelly look going on here. So anyway, that's what it is. Things are blurry. Well, it does look blurry. I don't know why that is. I don't know. It could be internet issues. I'm doing the best we can here, but we are connected to, supposedly, got this whole Wi-Fi situation worked out, but I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully things clean up a little bit here as we get this going on. All right, so just want to look back a little bit at the game that was the 16-6 victory over the Arizona Cardinals. And, man, it was a crazy game. A little bit up and down, a little bit of just... as usual, a Seahawks game is never quite just a straight line we played well. It's oh man, what the heck are we doing? To, oh wow, that was amazing. To, oh my God, how can we do that? To, whoo, wow, we actually won that game. So pretty wild how it all kind of played out. But in the end, it came out victorious. I think the best part for me, when I think back at what was great about this game, was I guess we started with the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Just going to quick recap in the next 2 minutes or so. But what was good about this game, got to say, the defense. The defense, for the third time in a row, we are seeing a team whose defense looked a complete opposite what it was to start out the year. Actually, we started out pretty good in the first couple games when we were 3-0, and we were thinking, oh, hey, this is the defense we want. And then all of a sudden, things kind of came apart. We started giving up tons of yards, and we started thinking, wow, this looks like the defense from a year ago. What happened? I thought McDonald was going to fix all this, and what's up with that? And it took a little while. But as we can see now, for the third straight game, the Seahawks have managed to shut down their opponents and really do what I think we all hoped Michael McDonald was going to do when it came to expectations of what this defense was going to be. And the way they shut down the run, they limited the Arizona Cardinals to 49 yards rushing after they had been averaging about 130 plus yards a game and 20 plus points. We limited them to 49 yards rushing, gave a lot in the air, but really one guy did all the damage. That tight end McBride was doing all the damage. But Kyler Murray kept to under 10 yards rushing. Are you kidding me? A high run of 6 yards. And to limit them to not even get into the end zone to 2 field goals that's amazing. So I don't think this is a fluke. This is now 3 games in a row. I love where the defense is going. I think the move to replace the linebackers that we started the year off, which at the time when we made those moves, that was my big question mark. I was like, are we sure this is the right guys for the linebacking position? Okay, I hope so. But was always concerned about that. And they went and dumped those 2 guys, brought in Ernest Jones, who is a baller, man. That guy is amazing. He has been one of the best moves John Schneider and company have made in recent years. And then Tyrese Knight, the rookie, just thrown into the fire, looking really good too, man. I've seen him. He's holding his own. And again, to do what they're doing with this squad, it is like a totally different team right now on defense. So I love what the defense is doing. Of course, we had the pick 6 by Kobe Bryant. That was the high point of that game, of course, to see that, not just to get the stop on 4th down. Now, that was a 4th down play, but Witherspoon pirouetting around to make sure Kyler Murray doesn't get the edge, forcing him to throw the ball, makes an errant throw, overthrows it, and Kobe Bryant takes it to the house, does the celebration beast mode style, grabbing his junk as he falls in the end zone. I mean, it couldn't have been any better. I mean, that was the best moment of the year so far, at home anyway. Great, just fantastic experience. And it was great to see the Seahawks fans back in action. I felt like the 12s were, granted it was against the Cardinals and their fans don't travel very well, but I felt like the energy was back in the building. I made a video about it telling 12s, come on, we got to show up. We got to do our thing for the team. And it all kind of worked out. The bad and the ugly, I said the bad is we still can't run the football. It's getting better. We have moments that looks pretty good, but we still have not been able to consistently run the football to where it's balanced between what we do through the air and do on the ground. And we got to get closer to a balance. I'm hoping it's just a matter of time because you see it and it's like, okay, whoa, that looked good, And then it's like, oh. And, Kenneth Walker Jr. doing his best, hurdling guys, doing what he can. But I'm hoping we'll just continue moving in the right direction to by the time we get to the end of the year and hopefully a shot that we could be in the playoffs. That's my big question. Are we a playoff team? Can we do it? And I think if we can get that run game just to where we can get closer to where we're putting 100 yards per game, I mean, that's where you want to be, at least as a team. It's great if you have a 100-yard rusher, but at least as a group between Geno, our 2 running backs, and whoever touches the ball, you want to be around 100 yards at least on the ground. And we're not quite there yet, but it's starting to move in that direction. So I think that's promising. Michael Dixon, MVP, man. This guy was kicking the crap out of the ball, putting it down inside the 10 multiple times, making the field position. When our offense couldn't get it done, Michael Dixon would kick that sucker to the end of the field, and then the defense would just do their thing and keep Arizona from having the benefit of a long field, and then keep them out of the end zone was huge. What else? Ugly, I'd say, Geno looked great at times. He is one of the best when it comes to the end of games. When it comes to the 2-minute hurry-up drill, he is at his best. But, man, sometimes just during the regular time in the first 25, 28 minutes of each half, it's painful sometimes. I do think that Geno sometimes does hold the ball a little too long. I've been watching a little bit of some of the plays from Sunday, and there are times when it's like drop back, and there's that moment when the window's open. If he just throws it right there, I think we get a completion here or there instead of taking a sack. So there are times I think Geno does need to just get rid of it. Also, the ugly is just the turnover, man. I mean, Geno was playing pretty solid. Wasn't perfect, but pretty solid. And then when we're in control, ready to go ahead 2 touchdowns or at least 2 scores, he throws that interception in the red zone. Oh, so frustrating. And we had the ball. We had a field goal in our hands. I mean, it was an easy field goal that we were going to make. And then he goes and throws the interception. When he could have run it. He would have been able to run it. I'm sure that looking at the angle I had, he looked like he could have made it to the sticks and not even have to throw the ball and would have been reset another set of downs, more time off the clock. But he throws this ball. I know what he's looking at. He saw the guy flash open for a minute, but he waited too long. By the time he threw it, the defender had pulled back and intercepted that football. He just didn't do it quick enough. He needed to be more decisive on that. But I really would have to just see him run it. I mean, he didn't need to get that touchdown, and the time would have been another thing to our advantage. So the turnovers, I wish we didn't see that happen, but it did. So Geno's got to just cannot happen. That's going to kill us in games down the line if you turn the ball over in the red zone where you don't get at least a field goal because of the turnover. And then probably the other ugly or the bad is just the penalties. They had a few too many penalties, dumb penalties, right? Like Abe Lucas got called for 2 illegal formations, like not being on the line of scrimmage twice. We had some personal fouls that resulted in a missed extra point because Jason Myers had to kick it from 48 instead of 33. So that was another issue that we had. And then just other drive killers that we had as well. So luckily, we don't have to talk about them too much because we did win the game, but these are things that, in a tight game and against a better opponent, these things are going to be issues down the line. So anyway, we're going to discuss this. Are we a Seahawks? Are they a playoff team? And I'm going to say this just before I take your calls. I don't think we're a playoff team yet, but I think we can be. And I think, like I said, the defense we are a playoff defense. We've got that already happening. I'm seeing it now. We will get Uchenna Nwosu back eventually. In fact, I think he's going to practice this week, which is great. That'll be a huge benefit to this already good defense. It's just really the running game. It's Geno's decision-making and Geno's running and the running game that we've got to get sharper and better. If we can run the football, I think, with any regularity closer to 100 yards a game, I think we can be a playoff team. But right now, we're just not there. At least we were good enough to win the division, but we're not good enough to beat the likes of the Lions and the Packers right now. And we got to get better because we're going to play those two teams in about 3 weeks. So we got to get better quick in that area. But I love the defense. The defense will keep us in games if we can play like they have been playing the last 3 weeks. So we're not quite there yet, but we're getting ever so closer. All right, so I'm going to take some calls now to the phone lines. Many of the lines are filled up at the moment. I did want to say a quick shout out to Alena Dahl, my fabulous moderator of many years. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday. Alena, thank you for doing what you do, keeping things clean and rocking it and supporting my channel. Love you, gal. Appreciate you. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We'll start with, let's see, I think AD was here early, so we're going to start with Anthony D. Hopefully this is all working. AD, can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, bud? Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you. It's a miracle. I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Hey.
All the way over from Yakima, Washington.
Yep, I'm from Yakima, people.
Yep. Yeah, what'd you think about that big win, huh?
Well, keep in mind, Norb, I was at work during the game, but I did manage to watch the last bit of the quarter, and
Yep.
it was so exhilarating that we finally got another win.
It was. We have not had a back-to-back win since week 3, where we beat the Dolphins after beating the Patriots on the road in week 2. That's the last time we won back-to-back games. And Sunday was the last time we won a game in Lumen Field, was that Dolphins game way back at the beginning of the season. That's how long it's been since we've won a game at home. Felt so good to finally get one at home. So it was a long time coming. But yeah, that was an exhilarating, fun win. The crowd was into it, and we had a great time. So winning fixes everything, for sure. So yeah,
Yep.
What do you think? Are we a playoff team?
I'm gonna have to agree with you on this part. I don't think they are a playoff team for now. Just as long as they just get their defense together and Geno stops pausing and just freezing up, trying to figure out who to give the ball to and whatnot. If they get all that fixed up, I do believe they will be a playoff team.
Okay. All right. in agreement. I'm glad you see the same thing I do. So, yeah, we'll see. We got a game that we should win on Sunday because it's the New York Jets, and they are a dumpster fire of a team right now. But, we also lost to the Giants, who are also a dumpster fire of a team. I still can't believe that we lost to those guys. And so we can't take these New York teams lightly. One of the worst losses. If it comes down to it, that Giants game may be one of those games that we are going to look back and go, how the heck did we blow the season losing to the Giants? That is just never should have happened. But shout out to Ferg in the Super Chat says, how can we not be a playoff team? We won the West. First of all, we did not win anything. Okay, we are in first place right now in a division where everybody's one game apart. So this could go to anybody. With 6 games remaining, this is nobody's division. We won't know the winner of this division until probably week 18 when the season comes to an end. So it's going to be a race to the finish, which is exciting and also frustratingly stressful at the same time. So yeah, we have not won anything. We're just ahead for now, for the day. All right, well, thanks for the call, man. I got a lot of people to get to today, but I appreciate you chiming in. And that music video is coming. And I'm going to be adding you and 80s.
I cannot wait to see my part.
ACA's vocals in there. So it's going to be some assembly work, but I said I would do it. I'm going to make it happen. So appreciate you calling in, man.
And one more thing.
Yeah?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think of that video I sent you? My soundtrack, dude.
Oh, I told you. It was great. Epic sounding, really cool music, man. Keep it up. I thought that was awesome. Sounded like something I'd seen in a epic movie trailer or something. It was great.
That's what people have been telling me. And I'm actually thinking about using that as the chorus for my song, dude.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I like it. And a little dramatic, epic orchestral sound to it. Yeah, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man, because that sounded really good. I thought it was awesome.
Well, I got 7 days off, so I'll take that opportunity.
Take that time and create away, man. Thanks for calling. All right, we're going to take another call here. Sam Dog, the infamous 253. Sam Doggy, what's up?
Not a whole lot, man. I got the 7:20 flight tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be heading over to the Big Apple to catch it again, just like you did last year.
Yeah, except this time we're playing the Jets, man.
We better win this one.
Still don't want to overlook them like we don't overlook them like we overlooked the Giants. And I agree with you. But I will say this though, playoff team, we'll see depending on how the rest of the season goes. Not super contending yet though, because McDonald's got to piece it piece by piece together like Pete Carroll did in the earlier time we had Pete. We had to give the first few years. Granted, it was a surprising playoff appearance with a surprising upset over the defending champion Saints at that time. Well, I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to be that, but it's like the future does look promising, especially after those last 2 wins that we just had, beating division rivals back to back. And we may have and I was watching Seahawks Brendan Nelson's video. He's saying that we pretty much slammed the door on the 49ers Super Bowl window with that upset when we pulled in Frisco the week before the Arizona game. So future looks dim for San Francisco, but how bright it's going to look for us, especially with the way our defense has been playing lately, because our defense pretty much won us that game against Arizona.
Yeah. Well, they've been good for 3 games, really. I mean, we should have won. The defense was great against the Rams. Our offense really let us down against the Rams. That should have been another win in our back pocket, too. So the defense has been trending the right way. But I agree, the 49ers, while they're still only a game back, the feeling about the way the Niners are right now is, especially if you listen to anything Niners Nation right now, they are pretty down on their team. A lot of people have already given up. But that's what happens when you've been going to multiple Super Bowls and used to being at the top and not losing to teams like us. It's pretty demoralizing for them, and it's a great boost for us. So, Purdy being hurt.
Doesn't get any easier for
Yep. No, they go on the road to Buffalo.
They got to play Buffalo.
Yeah. No, they got some tough stretches ahead. And we don't exactly have a cupcake schedule. We got to play, assuming, again, we should take care of the Jets, but we play the Arizona Cardinals again in Arizona, and then we play.
Which I'm going to that one, too.
Man, you're hitting some fun games for sure, man. But then we got the Packers at home, and we got the Vikings at home. Then we play Chicago in frigid, Windy City, and then finish it up in LA. That's no easy stretch those last 3-4 games. So
No, it is not.
So it can go any way. It can go any way right now. What'd you think of the environment, man? You were at the game. How'd you feel about the stadium environment? I thought it actually felt a little bit like the old days.
Yeah, it really did because, Arizona doesn't have that big of a following, I mean, they don't have a big following unless it's in their own house. Granted, we take over their house pretty much every year. I mean, I am going down to that game after. I'm going to be flying all over the place. I go to New York tomorrow, and then a few days after I get back from New York, me and my dad fly down to Arizona to go down to the Seahawks Cardinal game down in Arizona.
Man,
so
you are just
I feel like the environment was electric.
Yeah.
And I told Big Cat Leonard Williams to put the overrated midget on his butt during the pregame that I always do down by the tunnel. And
overrated.
Yes, Kyler Murray is the overrated midget in my opinion.
Well, I called him the Turbo Shrimp.
Pretty much showed
I called him the Turbo Shrimp in my music video. I think
Shrimp.
that's a much more PC one than overrated midget. But hey, you know what? Who am I to talk? I think that's hilarious. Well, we definitely took care of them. Hopefully, we'll be in their heads the next time we play them down in Arizona, knowing how much we spanked them. So they look like the Cardinals of old to us that time around. So it was great. It was great to see. So yeah, I thought 12 showed up. It was a good environment. But man, I'll be looking for you on the big screen in New York as well as in Arizona, man. I envy you, man. Maybe next year. Next year might be different. I might be able to finally hit some road games again since I'll have a little bit more time on my hands, given that I'll have 2 girls out in college. And I'll have a little bit less stuff tying me up come next season of 2025. So hopefully I can join you guys in some of these away games because I miss being on the road.
Yeah, I'm trying to target Atlanta next year for 2025. But also, in case you're wondering, has Mike McDonald met Sam Dog yet? Yes, he has met me. He met me back at the game against the Rams, and yes, he did come and talk to me before the game yesterday, too. So, yes, I now have the connection with McDonald. McDonald is aware of who I am.
All right, Sam and McDonald making the connection. That's awesome. Well, that'll be a big one when we come back home here to face the Packers, man. That's going to be filled with Packer fans on the road. It's going to be loud. Yeah. It's going to be Packer crazy prime time Sunday night football. But let's get a few wins here and then make that game really something. So, all right. Well, cool, man. Well,
Packer fans do travel well.
They do. They're the ones who prompted me and Mark to start hometown tickets because we had to go silent count on a home game against the Packers back in 2018 or whatever that year that was. So, anyway. All right, man. Well, have a great time in New York. I'll look for some of your posts and videos when you're out there. I know that you love being out there in the Big Apple, so that's going to be great. Have fun out there, man, with you and your dad.
Yeah, I mean, my dad and I are going to Arizona. It's just me going.
Oh, it's just you in New York. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I'll have a blast when I know you will. So smoke a cigar for me, and I'll look for your videos. Yep. Cool, man. Well, have a great time. I envy you, man. It's going to be fun for you. So,
you'll be back on the road soon. We need you on the road again soon, Norb.
It's coming. It's coming, man. I'm looking forward to it. All right, Sam. Take care, brother.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. All right, let me get clear a few more lines here. Let's go to Sergio in Vancouver from the 360. Sergio, is that right?
Yep.
Sergio, what's happening, man? What'd you think of this last game? Does this show that the Seahawks are a playoff team, or do we still got work to do?
Not a playoff team yet. Got the playoff defense, but I think this year we can improve over time. It's just Geno's decision-making, Ryan Grubb's questionable sort of play calling that he does on these short downs, but also his offensive line is what's probably going to lose this game. But this defense that's keeping us in the games is really fantastic seeing, holding the Rams to 17 in regulation, the 49ers, or was it the Rams?
49ers in 17.
But
the Rams got that last touchdown that put them at 26, but they should have been held under 20, had we played that
right.
overtime correctly.
But I think when it comes to it, the key point is the pressure we're getting to the quarterback. It's amazing. MVP on that D-line, Leonard Williams. Oh, my God, is he going insane. And especially that addition of Ernest Jones. I've been saying get Tyrese Knight in as well. great duo going in, moving forward. But I think what's going to make us that playoff team is into those NFC North games with Minnesota and Green Bay. Because I was doing a little playoff scenarios, and our likely opponents, if we were to win the division, would be between them two.
Yeah. No, as we all know, the NFC North alone, the 3 top teams in there have some of the best records in the NFL, period. So that's why we have to win the West in order to even make the playoffs, because no one from our division is, unless someone goes on a crazy tear here and suddenly wins out, likely no one in our division is getting a wild card spot. So we have to win the division if we want any shot of making the playoffs. And the nice thing is, if we win the division, that means we're having a home playoff game. So we got to win the division. But yeah, at some point we're going to face one of these teams. We already saw Detroit. We had our shot to beat those guys and fell a little bit short, but we're going to be tested when we face the Vikings, we're going to face the Packers, and we're going to face the Bears. So
I don't know about tested with the Vikings. They haven't been looking too hot.
No, but they're not a bad team either, and we've also lost to and played down to bad teams. So, it's all going to be about, I feel like, how we execute, and are able to do what the Seahawks need to do, mostly on offense, because I feel pretty confident now that this defense is going to be able to hang with anybody. But you know what I am excited about? I didn't really talk about this much, but with Abe Lucas coming back and being pretty good as he's working his way in on the right tackle, and Oluwatimi now 2 games in at center, I think he's actually playing well. He played really good in that game against the 49ers at pass protection, and I think haven't really studied it close. I'm not sure how his performance was, but I was saying this before the game, saying, if we could get Christian Haynes, who are the right guard that we drafted in first round, or was it second round? Second round? Do second round. Or third? No, third round. Whatever it was. We got Christian Haynes, one of our top draft picks. He hasn't played all year. And I should say, he hasn't started. He's kind of been rotating in and out at right guard. But when Anthony Bradford got out, I was thinking before the game, if Christian Haynes could just develop into what Oluwatimi is now becoming, because now he is the default starter, this kind of makes Christian Haynes trial by fire. He's got to be the starter too. Because really, if those guys could play up to what we wanted them to be, that would suddenly our line is looking a lot younger and more solid, because you got Cross on the left, you got, I skipped the left guard, center, potentially of the future, Christian Haynes of the future, right? And then Abe Lucas, who was drafted to be our right tackle of the future. If those guys could all kind of play up to what we hoped they would be, that'd be 4 out of the 5 linemen that we really had hoped would be our foundation. And really, Tomlinson, who's kind of an older guy anyway, was never going to be here for long term. Then that really means maybe that's all we need is to draft one good solid guard on the left side or interchange on the right side. And maybe we've got our line already here, and it's just a matter of them kind of developing. So I'm excited that Christian Haynes is kind of forced into action, because we've been kind of wanting to see what he can do. And kind of like Tyrese Knight, right? He was sort of forced into it. He's stepping up. Oluwatimi, he's forced into it. He's stepping up. And maybe Christian Haynes will be forced into it, and we'll have to step it up, because really he's the next man up. So I'm kind of excited with the fact that this line is turning out to be what it is, because I've kind of wanted to see what that dude can do. And then finally he's getting a shot. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But we got to take care of the Jets first here. We control our own destiny now in the NFC West. So if we don't blow it and we take care of the teams we should take care of, we're going to be right there in the mix, and hopefully looking at West champs and a home playoff game. That's the goal.
Going on for the rest of this 2024 season.
Yeah, crazy ride, but you never know. It's looking promising. All right, man. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it, brother.
Yep.
All right. Let's go. Let's see. Let me shake things up here a little bit. Let me go to Sutton Hawk. Sutton Hawk is on here. Let me get you line up. Sutton Hawk, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Norb.
What's happening, man? What a great win.
Nothing much. Yeah, what a great win.
What do you think?
I thought we were great. Defense showed up. Offense showed up. We're going to win this. We're going to win the division for sure.
Oh, for sure.
We got next 6 games. But, yeah, we've got this division on lockdown.
Well, we've got the inside track now. Like I said, we control our own destiny. So, it couldn't wish for a better place to be in as we're heading into the home stretch. And Seattle, generally plays their best football as they enter November, December, right? I mean, that's kind of where you want to be playing your best ball. Unlike the Niners right now, they're trending the wrong way. Injuries,
Chrysostom would be pretty mad right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a Chrysostom video coming. A little hard to do Chrysostom now with this thing going on. Cupcake asked me, "What did you do? What happened to your face?" You obviously missed my explanation. But yeah, no, I wish I could say it was like a fight. That'd be a much better story. But the truth of it is that me and Vanessa were doing a little working out yesterday, and she wanted to see if we could do handstands, which I haven't done a handstand in like forever. And so I tried to do a handstand, and then I lost my balance and started falling over. And then, one thing led to another, so I collapsed and landed on my face on the rug and got a major rug burn, like peeled off a bunch of the skin off my face. It stung like hell, but it was more my ego and my pride was bruised more than anything else. But yeah, what's your I guess what is your best? What do you feel like is the best thing going for the Seattle right now in terms of feeling why we are a playoff team and why we're going to win the West?
I think basically how I see it, I think our defense is showing up and playing the game how they need to be. And they're just like that Kobe Bryant interception, pick six, doing the beast mode.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was all Witherspoon. Witherspoon made that play happen because that was supposed to be Kyler Murray around the right corner, get the first down and keep the drive alive. And Witherspoon, man, he put on his like Tasmanian devil spin around and cut him off at the pass and forced him. And he had to throw it up because he knew if he didn't, Seattle was going to get the ball anyway, being that it was fourth down. But I'm sure, didn't expect it was going to be a pick six. So, I mean, that could not have gone any worse for Arizona. That really turned the game around.
The defense has been showing up. It's like the old days.
It is. I'm excited. Well, it was like remember the first game when we played against Denver? I remember thinking, this is fun. This is the defense we all thought it was going to be when Mike McDonald came over. And, of course, it didn't last long. It kind of lasted one game, and then it was like, what's going on here?
Our next 5 games.
Yeah, but then this is kind of what it was supposed to be. And when he went over to kind of make over the defense for the Ravens, they also took about a half a season or maybe a little bit more for that defense to finally go from not so great to like top 5 in scoring. So we're on about right track to be about halfway through the season for it to happen. So one last question before I take another call is, are you a Geno believer?
Oh, yeah, I'm a Geno believer, 100%.
Okay.
Also, one thing before you go, I'm going to be at the Packers game.
You're going? Okay. We'll have to meet up. I think I saw you. I think I might have seen a message about that. But yeah, we'll have to meet up beforehand because that's going to be an epic game, and it's cool that you'll be there. So we'll meet up. Touchdown
like the
City
NFC Championship. It's like the NFC Championship all over again.
Yes, and the Seahawks generally do well when the Packers come here. In fact, they do about as well here as we do going down to Lambeau. So we want to keep that streak going. So, all right, man. Well, I will see you in a few weeks when they come when you come over to Lambeau, the Packers, or from Lambeau, the Packers come here to play us. That'll be a fun game for sure.
See you in a few weeks.
All right, sounds good, man. Thanks for the call. Let me go to Patrick. Patrick, who I haven't talked to in a while. Patrick from the 253. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, Norb?
Hey, man. Other than beating my face up by myself, it's probably one of the best wins at home we've had in a while. I mean, that was just a fun game. It wasn't even the greatest performance of our team, but the defense probably was one of the best performances.
Yeah.
And definitely a home win we've had. That was the best home win of 2024, for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think of the
I
team?
want to go back to that Geno interception from yesterday. The way I saw it from the replay, Geno had some real estate to get the first down.
He did.
And I just yelled, Geno, you had the first down. Why couldn't you run it? That's how I saw it on TV.
Well, I watched it too. Obviously, I was in the stadium, and I had from my angle, I was looking at the sticks, so I could see Geno and the beeline to get there, and there was no one would have stopped him. He would have gotten there at least or been right at the sticks if he just kept running. But I also saw what he was looking at because Tyler Lockett broke free in the end zone, and for a split second, had he thrown that ball like a second earlier, that would have been a wide open touchdown. But by the time he made that decision, the defender broke back and then was where he didn't expect him to be. So it's one of those things where I think sometimes Geno's decision making is like just a half second too late, or he's overthinking it and is not doing it when the window's open. And that's why some of these balls are getting picked off when they are. So luckily, it didn't result in a touchdown. The defense did their job, held them to a field goal.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, speaking of interceptions, there's an interception that wasn't. You remember on the last drive that led to the game-winning, or I should say the go-ahead field goal that sealed the game for us? Do you know that pass went about the 25-yard line? He threw it to midfield to DK. Oh, my God. As soon as – I don't know how it looked on TV, but from where I was, as soon as he threw it, there was 3 guys right around DK, and I thought interception coming. I was like, why are you throwing that football? That's like everything they say what not to do. You don't throw backwards, against the field, behind you, into a crowd. I mean, he was kind of lucky on that one, but you can call it luck or just say, wow, what pinpoint accuracy. But, I mean, DK was here, defender was here, another defender was here, and he got right between them. But, man, we dodged a bullet on that one. I was like, man, if we got picked off there, we could have been talking a whole nother song if that had gone the other way. So, but, yeah, that scared my life. Was my heart had to skip a beat when I saw that pass, and I was so glad we came back with it,
I just thinking about, the running game, we it's just that the way I see it, the offensive line is just not opening the holes for Kenneth Walker to run, or even Charbonnet, too. That's why I keep seeing them losing from yardage, and our running game is just not working because of that.
Yeah, the running game has been forever frustrating this year since running the football has always been a Seahawk thing, right? I feel like we see flashes where it's starting to show what it can do. We saw it kind of there in the third quarter and some of the fourth, but man, like the first 2 quarters, it's like, man, it's like running head against a brick wall, it felt like. And I don't know. That one's tough because we need it to happen. I feel like that's the difference between a playoff team and a not playoff team. There's not very many teams that you watch in the playoffs who can't run the football. When's the last time you watched a team not have a running game? Every team's got to have a running game, because if you rely entirely on your quarterback to try to throw your way into a playoff win, it's going to bite you eventually. You can't. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So
I always believe that if you can get 5 yards of carry a game, then I think we're onto something.
Yeah. Well, a good running back, a successful running back should be getting about 4 to 4.5 yards of carry. I mean, those are good numbers. So if you're doing that, you're doing pretty well probably. But yeah, I think we're sub that. We're probably 3 point something. So we're definitely we need to keep that improving. And I don't know if it's just time or what the play call is or just the offensive line. But again, this offensive line is changing. It's changing before our eyes right now. So we can't blame it on the same guys, because we have 3 totally different guys in there now that we did before the year started. We have a totally different center, totally different right guard now, and a totally different right tackle. So it can't all be bad, right? There's got to be something there that's going to be, improving. So hopefully with these new guys in there, it'll just take a little bit more time. But are you all right? So you brought up Geno right away. Are you one of those guys? Everyone's either Geno lover or a Geno hater. Which one are you?
I like the guy. I want him to be successful, but sometimes he can do things that make me go crazy. Like yesterday, besides that interception, there was one play where he pulled the ball for 12 hours.
I know that one. That was when we were going left to right, and everybody was just like standing there. They weren't even rushing him, right? He was just standing there looking. He eventually just threw it away. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, come on, somebody's got to get open. That was such a weird play, man. I was thinking maybe Geno's just shocked because he was expecting. He's not used to this kind of time, so he didn't know what to do with himself. So he just kind of like went into a state of shock. That was my excuse. But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna obviously have a conversation depending on how this season ends. Will the Seahawks extend Geno after the season's over? That's going to be a very politically divisive discussion. But it all depends on how it goes, right? What if we for the people who are Geno haters out there, I'm just curious. So let's say the Seahawks win the division and they get a home playoff game, and we win a playoff game. And then let's say we go to the divisional round or championship round, but let's say we don't make it to the Super Bowl. Do you still feel like, nope, I know we got this far, but Geno still sucks, we need somebody else? Or would he have earned it that's something to think about. You can comment away if you want, but that'll be a discussion for a later, chapter as the season gets along. I think we'll know where we feel about Gino and the team come, first week of January. We'll know exactly where we stand. But right now, it's too hard to tell. Too many still unanswered questions just in week 12 of the NFL season. All right, man. Well, it's, good. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Man, a lot of people wanted to chat in tonight. Let's see. Let me hit another wireless caller over from the 509 east side of the state. From the 509, who's this?
This is Jason Ironwolf Gaming.
From, Jason Ironwolf. Oh, yeah, I recognize that name. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. As far as us being a playoff team, the last 4 games, I think, in my opinion, are going to decide whether or not that we are going to be one. Because we're facing the NFC North, minus the Lions, of course. But I think we'll be able to beat Arizona and the Jets. And like I said, maybe I don't know. It just all depends. Maybe the Bears and the Rams. So we should be able to get into the playoffs. Maybe I'm hoping we do. That's always been my thing. As long as we make playoffs, I'll be happy.
That's the most unconfident playoff hope prediction I think I've heard. I think we could beat the Jets and maybe the Cardinals and maybe the Rams and maybe we get in the playoffs. Although I feel your lack of conviction because look at this schedule. I mean, look at it. This is the schedule, right, for the last right there. This is where we're at. Jets, at Cardinals, Green Bay at home, Vikings at home, at frigid Chicago, and then at the Rams. That's our last 6 games of the year.
The Bears, we should get a win too, also, and then the Rams. I think we'll get our revenge game on that one.
I mean, we should have beaten those guys, right? I mean, we should have beaten them by multiple scores. That's ridiculous. That's none of those games that's just like, what? How do we lose that game? But yeah, I know it's crazy. It's crazy that things played out the way they did. But we do have a chance, and
depending on what kind. Go on.
Yeah, no, I just think if the Seahawks could just find some way to not shoot themselves in the foot. I think that's the thing is we shoot ourselves in the foot so many times. If we just stop doing that, I think we got a chance against anybody.
Yeah, really and then the other thing is we got to see what Geno do we get. Do we get the Geno from the Jets that are always we've seen throw interceptions, needless interceptions, or do we get the Geno, the last 2-minute drives like you were saying? He's unbelievable in those 2-minute drives.
I've been saying that what they got to do, they need to hire a hypnotist and then tell Geno that every minute that he's on the field is the 2-minute drill. And he plays like that, he'll be like Patrick Mahomes level, man. Because when it comes to the 2-minute drill, he's like unbelievable. It's the other 28 minutes of the half that he struggles with. So I don't know. That's my thing. If we can find any good hypnotists out there, we can also kind of talk to Geno.
I think they should also kind of implement the quick snaps, the no huddles. Get to the line really quick, snap it. I mean, we did really well with that for a while, but I don't know why we kind of got away from it.
Well, they still do run some of that no huddle stuff, but it's like they go no huddle, but then they look to the sideline, they get the play and all that stuff. But yeah, but you're talking about up tempo where they're really going like moving the ball quickly. It's just there's a double-edged sword to that because if you do that and you don't convert, well then you've given your defense like 2 minutes to rest and they got to go right back out there. So that's the danger if you go up tempo the entire time. But
true.
I think. It comes down to that. We got to get the running game. We got to be able to count on the running game to do something for us. And right now, it's just it's a work in progress. It's got a long way to go. Still got a long way to go.
Yeah, because when we can get K9 going, I mean, our offense is cooking.
Yeah, and he did some great stuff, man. That play where he jumped over, hurdled the defender. I can't remember if that was a run or a pass. But yeah, I mean, he's a great running back, and we need a little bit more Open a few more holes for him, and man, we'll be unstoppable if we get to that point.
With Abe Lucas coming back, that's going to really help our offensive line. And like you said earlier, all we need is that one guard piece, and then we could be good. I've been saying the whole time when we had Cameron as our center, or not Cameron, Connor Williams as our center, when he was making all those mistakes, I'm like, put Olutini in. Put him in. He's a really good center. You need to give him a chance to shine here.
Yeah, and then he snapped one over the head. He had one snap that kind of whizzed over by Gino's head. It wasn't a great snap. Yeah, it wasn't over. It wasn't like 7 feet in the air. But yeah, I know it was so funny though that actually happened. But yeah, yesterday it's like we never saw one bad snap. At least I don't recall any bad snaps yesterday. Mm-hmm. So again, I'll take those baby steps. It's funny that you even have to talk about it, but it's like, hey, no bad snaps over the head. Hey, that's an improvement. Let's check that off the list. Now, all we got to do is get to where Gino's not throwing interceptions in the red zone. That would be a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
No more interceptions in the red zone. And if worse comes to worse, just run it, Gino. You're fast enough. You did it against the 49ers. Just take what you can get. But get down. Yeah, we don't want you getting hurt. Yeah. It was funny because everybody says Gino sucks, but nobody would want to see him run, get knocked out of the game, and then he's out for the season. I think everybody would realistically go, oh, man, we're screwed.
Again, and then, we did trade for Sam Howell, but at the same time, we have Gino who's been proven to get us going.
Yeah.
We just need him to take that next step.
Yes, for sure. All right. Well, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you jumping on here. We're going to try to go to another line here, but yeah, we'll see if we can see how we can keep it rolling against New York.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right, you bet, man. All right. Continue on, man. So many people wanted to chat tonight. I will get back to the Discord in a moment. Let's go to. The name is Robert Frost. I wonder if he's a poet. Let's find out for the 716. Is this Robert? Hello. From the 716, you there?
Oh, hello?
Oh, yes. Is this Robert?
Yeah, this is him.
Yeah. Oh, you're on the show, man. How you feeling about the Seahawks right now?
I'm feeling pretty confident about how they could pursue, but I have a question.
What's that?
How do you personally think that the Seahawks should proceed at the QB, seeing how Gino's only getting older year by year?
Well, I mean, he's in the latter parts of a multi-year deal. What I think the Seahawks should do, because Gino is getting older, but I think what they should do like what they did with Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers, right? They should look to draft a quarterback for the future, but they should have Gino still around for a couple of years at a decent price. I mean, he's not going to work for free, but I don't think he commands the $40 million a year either. But I think, because we're not going to get the first round pick. We're not going to get the top 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks in the league. I mean, we're not going to finish there. So, but we might be able to get somebody who they could potentially develop, move up to get one of those quarterbacks. I still know. I don't know the draft class well enough is that guy there in this 2025 draft. But whatever it is, I think that Gino could still be here for a couple of years to mentor and carry the team in the meantime until the guy of the future is developed and ready to go. We've seen. I mean, look at how many number one draft picks have we seen really become everything you want them to be, right? Look at Bryce Young at the Panthers, right? Bryce Young, the Panthers are a dumpster fire too. Look at the Bears, right? They started off hot. I think at one point at the peak of it, they were 4-2, and look at them now. They fired their offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, by the way. They're a mess. They're basically out of it, which is why we should beat those guys too when we play them in Chicago. But that's two teams. That's just two examples of the top quarterback. No question, this is the best quarterback in the draft. And what has happened? What has happened with these teams that drafted those quarterbacks? Bryce Young's already in his. What year is this? 2, 3? It's not been good. Now, I do think that the quarterback for Chicago, he's still pretty good. I mean, I'm not knocking him to not be talented, but it's not a guarantee that everything's going to come together. And again, Geno is not a bad quarterback. Yeah, he's made some bad plays, decisions at times, but he's also done some things that very few quarterbacks even now can do, because he still leads the league in passing yards. Granted, he's got a lot of interceptions too. But that's what's going to happen when you throw the ball that much. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, so that's my feeling. I don't know who it is. I don't know the answer to the quarterback. All I do know is that right now we've got the best option playing for us right now, because whatever issues you think the Seahawks have, it's not Geno who's the biggest issue. It's the running game. That's the biggest issue right now. Defense was the issue. They're fixing that. Running game, that's number 2. That's definitely number 2 on the list that got to be fixed. Geno is not number 2. I wouldn't even call it number 3. he's
up there with the
he's fine.
Side. Oh, Josh Allen and stuff.
All right, you okay over there, man? I hear a lot of groaning over there. Is that you just having a hard time with my message?
I'm pretty good.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Got small injury.
All right. Well, you sound like how my face is feeling right now. So I'm going to take one more here to clear the lines on the phone. I got one more call here, and then I'm going to go over to Discord. So let's go to the 360. I think that's up north. Jordan Thompson. If I'm not, oh no, Jordan Thompson's gone. And that's the sign that the lines are clear. So let's go to Discord right now. Let me go to our friends over here in Discord. Tristan's been sitting a long time. Tristan is, Tristan's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Okay, I got to preface that by saying, you are one of the luckiest teams right now who's only one defeated. You guys got lost to the Bills last week, but man, you guys
barely
managed to eke out wins by the skin of your teeth and the hair on your chinny chin, man. How confident are you feeling about your Kansas City Chiefs, Tristan?
Well, that game was pretty close. I think we were almost going to lose that game against the Panthers.
Against the Panthers, I just said it was a dumpster fire.
Well, yeah.
But you pulled it out. You pulled it out.
Overtime.
You know, and it.
I did not know the Panthers would be that good against the Chiefs.
But you know, and this is the party line on Discord. So you got your multiple voices on here. But you know what? In the NFL, there are no style points. It's like you win or you lose. Even if it's a 3-point win in overtime and an ugly win against a bad team, or a 20-point win, it still measures the same when it all comes down to it, except in complex tiebreaker. But nonetheless, I don't know. Are you still feeling? Are you nervous about your changing topics here? So, are you nervous about the Chiefs' future here as they're trying to three-peat? Be one of the few teams, actually the only team, right, to three-peat? Or at least it's been a long time since we've had a three-peat.
Yeah.
How confident are you that the Chiefs are going to make it back to the promised land and try to make it a three-peat in the Super Bowl? How confident are you?
Very confident. I feel like the Chiefs will destroy the other teams. I mean, we got some good AFC teams that are going head to head right now, but I mean, so hopefully the Chiefs will get a three-peat. So.
Okay, all right, well.
The Chiefs are trying to be the next Patriots dynasty. I don't want that to be.
We're gonna be like Tom Brady or
no.
Mahomes like Tom Brady.
No.
They've got a ways to go to get to that. But they've done some things that a lot of teams have not done. But Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, that's a pretty damn good combination. Not gonna lie. I mean, they've figured out a definite.
Yesterday I did watch your game. Your guys' game, but it was a good game. Not gonna lie. I was
it was entertaining. It was frustrating because it should have been that entertaining. Like, it shouldn't have been that close. We should have had a 2-touchdown lead with 5 minutes left. But, Geno had other plans. But we got done what we had to get done. But, it was, in the end, it's A win's a win. Ugly or pretty or doesn't matter as long as we get the win. But yeah,
every time I just like so. Every time I watch your YouTube videos, I always watch the music videos. Not gonna lie.
Exactly.
I always watch the
That's what I do.
music videos over and over. Like your 2022
That's what I do.
videos. It goes over. I watch it over and over all the time. It's so entertaining.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you for the shout out. For those of you who have not checked it out, go to YouTube and check out NORBFAM and watch my music videos on there.
His old prediction videos I like to watch.
Yeah, this year's been a little different because I've had to kind of spread it out. So I've been doing it a game by game, formula. Although at the end, I am going to reassemble all the videos and make one big prediction video out of it, probably before the season's up, and that way it's kind of like one final one that puts the whole thing together.
I hope I get in one someday. Hopefully I get in a prediction video someday.
Well, send me a clip, actually, because I still have some clips I haven't edited into the final video yet from people like yourself. And so if you send me a video clip, I'll put you in the video. Just email it to me at norb@norbcam.com. All right.
Music videos about the? Did you make any music videos about the Chiefs? Like when you guys were going against them? I don't even know.
When we played them on the regular season, 2 years ago, I think we played them. I made a video about it.
2022.
Yep. I did. If you go to 2022, you'll see it. I did it to the song "Everybody Wants to Rule the World," and I'll say this:
Kansas City wants the Super Bowl.
There you go. You know it. Kansas City wants the Super Bowl, and they actually won the Super Bowl that year. So I called it, and I called that we would lose, and we lost. So, but then again, Kansas City was kind of beating everybody back then. So,
yeah.
Anyway, let me go to Jade because she's been very quietly, patiently waiting in the corner because normally she's the first one to talk. And she's just quietly hanging out there with her glass of, it looks like a Chardonnay or grape juice, which is basically fermented grape juice, wearing her Seattle Seahawks sweatshirt. What's happening, Jade?
Not much. I got my power back on recently.
Oh man, the power. Jeez, yeah.
Bomb cyclone, and I'm like, I'm like, the day it happens, I'm like, holy moly, and this happens, and
it was bad.
Absolutely. Yeah, but it didn't stop me going from the Kraken game or the Seahawks game. You're not gonna stop me, for nature.
Well, that's good. That's good because actually it was a good reason to get out of the house and get somewhere where there was power because it was a pretty bad mess. There's still a lot of trees down on the roads leading to my neighborhood here. It's a mess. It's gonna be a while for them to clean it up. A lot of people knew about it. I don't think many people outside of Washington State knew much about the cyclone bomb. Cyclone or cyclone bomb? Bomb cyclone. That's a bomb cyclone. But yeah.
They used that term in the 80s. I'm watching Monday Night Football right now. Ravens are absolutely on fire.
I was watching it. I started this at the half. I haven't even checked the score. What's the score now?
36.
30 to 16.
Oh my gosh, the Ravens are annihilating them now.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
They call it the Harbaugh Bowl or something.
Yeah. Well, you got John and Jim, the brothers Harbaugh coaching against each other.
I hate Jim. I hate Jim so much.
Oh, I know. I know. Jade is probably keeping everything she can to not be screaming and saying bad words about Jim Harbaugh.
He's like,
I can't scream because my boyfriend's asleep.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably a good thing.
And Jim was on San Francisco for so long, and he's like, every single game. I'm like,
I know. He was, but that added to the rivalry because Jim Harbaugh was such a fun coach to hate because you didn't have to try because he would say something or just do something that just made you want to punch his face through the screen, right? It was just so annoying. But he doesn't play against the team that we play against on a regular basis.
He's like Christostomo.
Oh, God. I want to get out of here.
Yeah, Christostomo.
And I got a Christostomo video coming because Christostomo, he ain't exactly having the best of days along with the rest of Niner Empire.
Just lost against the Packers.
Yeah, they got thumped.
That's
why Kraken's playing too.
Happy birthday, Phil Grubauer, my favorite goalie.
Oh, yeah. So let me ask you, Jade, real quick as I'm close to wrapping things up here. What do you think? Are the Seahawks a playoff team, in your opinion?
Yes, But, with Gino, I'm kind of neutral about him because that Rams game got me really mad because I am dating a Rams fan, and it makes me mad because I had to come home and face the man.
Oh, that's rough. Well, you're going to have to be, mortal enemies again in Week 18.
Yeah.
When we face them in Los Angeles, so that's going to be rough.
I want my vengeance.
We need vengeance. We need revenge for sure.
Oh, yeah. My boyfriend's team won the World Series. I remember him just going psycho in the living room, and I'm like, hey, yo, what is going on?
Yeah.
Seriously, he's a Dodgers fan?
What's crazy is Los Angeles, it's just, I can see why fans are so, Los Angeles fans are so kind of passive because there's too many teams over there. I mean, think about it. You got 2 baseball teams. You got at least 2 basketball teams. You got 2 football teams. A bunch of, there's too many choices. It's like here in Seattle, you've got basically one team per season. And we don't even have a team for one season. We don't even have a men's basketball team here. So when it's one season, there's usually one team only that's doing good. When do you ever have the Seahawks and the Mariners playing well at the same time? Usually never. So it's usually one or the other or neither. So you don't have choices. You're just going in, you support this team. This is pretty much what's going on. I'm not a soccer fan, so I know I should be more generous about the fact that we're doing well in soccer. I think we're in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
The Sounders in the playoffs. I have no clue about soccer. Confuses me. I'm just not smart enough to follow soccer because the whole thing confuses me. But anyway,
we need the Sonics.
LA's got too
back.
many teams. We do need the Sonics back. That would change. That would be so awesome.
Speaking of the Sonics, after Christmas, the NBA is announcing the expansion, so I'm biting my fingers.
You know what? They keep teasing the Sonics coming back like they keep teasing Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out soon. It's coming out anytime now. Might be this next summer it's coming out. And then it's like, next summer just came and went. I guess it's not coming yet. Jordan Thompson with a super chat. He's back on the line. Apparently, I got hung up on, so I'm going to try to get him back on this next call here. But anyway, like you said, so yeah, Sonics need to be back. The Sounders are doing good. The Kraken are doing their thing, and the Mariners, whatever.
They're done.
there's always next year.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks could be a playoff team.
I want that. I mean, after the whole Penix thing, I was like, why do people just recognize me for this? I'm like, oh my God. I try to keep my cool.
I was like,
well, not like Penix had any choice in the matter. But but that's what the Falcons are doing, right? They drafted Penix knowing he's not going to play for a while, and they have Kirk Cousins to carry things through. And how are they doing right now? How are the Falcons doing right now? Speaking of, how's that formula working out for those guys?
Falcons game.
No, they're first in the South. They're first at 6-5. They're like us, 6-5, top of the division in the NFC South. So it's working for Atlanta, and we beat them too. So there you go. All right, hang on, guys. I'm gonna bring in Jordan from the phone line here since he so kindly tried to get back to me here. So let's do this. Jordan from the 360. Jordan, you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Thanks for getting my attention with the super chat, bro. So, what do you think?
No, of course.
Are the Seahawks a playoff team? Get ahead of myself here. Hello? Jordan. Earth to Jordan. Oh, what? Did I lose you again?
God. Hello, we're back.
Okay.
Hello, no, we're here.
Okay. I know what's going on over there, man. You still having a bomb cyclone tonight over there?
What's going on? Man.
All right, what's up? Yeah, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Are the Seahawks are they a playoff team or not?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. So yes, I think we're a playoff team, especially in the NFC West. But I had a question for you.
Uh-oh.
If that's okay.
No, I asked the questions here. Go ahead. What do you had?
I just want to know what you think of Kobe Bryant. Do you think he's a long-term situation at safety? I like him a lot, especially in the last 2 or 3 years. Obviously, it's his 3rd year, but
I like him. Jordan Love, I love me some Love. Jordan Love is great. Kobe Bryant, they also, we've got some options back there. What's his name? Who just got off injury reserve and came in for a little bit. Was it Kayvon Wallace? Is he the other safety that came in too? But Kobe Bryant, I think he's been playing fine.
He always goes in for the fumble, the peanut punch in there. I love it.
Yeah. No, I like him. I do. I feel like, he kind of had to kind of reinvent himself because I think, wasn't he a corner to begin with? Then he got moved to safety. And,
he's
I
like
think.
A slot. Yeah.
And he's doing, what you do, right? It's like, okay, if it didn't work out in one spot, but you're contributing to the team in another, well, that's great, and pick six, a little Marshawn celebration, that doesn't hurt your cause either. So I'm kind of, you
remember the fumbles he caused?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
No.
Yeah,
I just think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now he's like the whole defense is working right now, and he's a big part of that. So, yeah, I like the way it's going. And like I said, Uchenna Nwosu has been a name we haven't said much this year because he's been off the field for 99% of the season. But remember how important he is to the team and has been? He's coming back. I think he practices this week. And that's like getting another player. That's like having a defense that's finally like, wow, the defense is playing solid. And, oh, by the way, wait, there's more. Yeah, you can have this guy here. And it's like, oh, crap, I forgot we had him. It's, it's like all of a sudden we get this extra bonus piece late in the season. It's almost like you just traded for somebody, but you already had him. He just had to get off the injury list. So I feel like it's going to get even better when he comes back in. Just more fresh guys on the pass rushing, which is, what was the key back in 2013, 2014 when we went to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I'm really excited about all the pieces in the defense, particularly the linebackers. I think we went from one of the weakest positions to now I feel like that's one of the strongest positions. But it's all kind of working, complementary to each other. The the defensive line and the linebackers are just playing in sync now. I think some of it was just learning to play within the new system of Mike McDonald. But everybody seems to be knowing their responsibilities. They're in the right gaps now. They're not these major holes that people are running through like they did, back in the earlier part of the season. And then the secondary, we got the guys, that we kind of wanted to have healthy on the field together. Witherspoon, Woolen, Love, and then the rest of the cast of them. So, yeah, I'm thrilled with how this is going. It's the offense, and particularly the run game, that's the biggest, question mark and the biggest thing to me against separates whether
we
we're a
got to
playoff
get
team
those
or
going.
not.
I was just been interested to see how we've replaced Diggs and Jamal back there, and we've done it so well. I just loved how I feel like Kobe he just goes. He's a ball hawk, that's why he's like in between being, yes, this guy's good for us, and an upper tier backup, So I just kind of wondered what your opinion was on him in the future.
Yeah, I mean, at this point right now, I hope they, I haven't really looked at his contract situation, how many more years he's got left. Obviously, that's always a challenge, and how do you keep? Who do you decide to keep? Who do you decide to pay? Where do you upgrade? He's kind of in that fringe level, right? Because you got guys like that Witherspoon's going to stay long term.
For sure.
Ernest Jones, they better sign his ass after this season, or maybe before the season's over, because they need him. I mean, he's proven it. He's only been here for a few weeks, and he's become one of the most valuable pieces. They got to get him, locked up. So Kobe Bryant, I don't know how they're seeing him, but right now it feels like he's fitting in just great with this defense. So, but,
I agree, man.
And I don't think they have to pay a lot of money for it.
I appreciate you coming back in there on the end. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
You have a good show.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. All right. Well, feeling pretty good about the way this is all going, and thank you guys for coming in. We got the Jets game, and it's going to be really easy right, to overlook the Jets, and we could get New York Giant-itis like we did when we felt like, oh, we got the big game the following week, but let's just get through this easy one, and next thing you know, we could be in a lot of trouble. So we cannot afford to have that happen again. So I hope the Seahawks, take this Jets game very seriously. I think this, speaking of the bomb cyclone that we have with the power going out, and there were stories, about how the facility was running on generators, but they didn't have everything in full operation, and they had to stay late at some players decided just to hang out in the practice area because they're like, well, I go home to an empty, dark house when I could just stay at the facility and hang out with my boys. So it felt like it was like an opportunity for them to have this extra time where they could kind of bond and spend more time studying film, and I think that kind of helped galvanize these guys and not suffer from what could have been a easy letdown after a big win against the Niners on the road. They could have easily come back here and had one of those follow-ups where everything kind of goes bad. But no, they did I think having that little disruption sort of worked things out. So power's back now, so everything's kind of back to normal, but hopefully they can keep the hunger and the fire going and just continue to keep improving little bits at a time, particularly on the offense. If we just get the running game, just a little bit improvement every week. By the time we take on teams like the Packers in 3 weeks time, and the Vikings, man, we could be if we split the Vikings and the Packers, that would be okay, presuming we beat the Jets and the Cardinals. If we beat the Jets and the Cardinals, I think we could afford to lose to one of those teams. But let's say we beat the Jets like we should. We should beat the Cardinals because we kind of got their number, right? So it's going to be Green Bay, the toughest test on the schedule. And then Minnesota, that's seemingly a tough test too. And then Chicago, we should beat them as well. And then you got the Rams, which we should have beaten them the first time. And I think by that time, hopefully the Rams will be out of it. Maybe they won't have anything to play for by the time we get to that point of the season. But I don't know. This is the Seahawks record is exactly where I had predicted they would be. Not based on the exact wins and losses, but in the scope of things, I had the Seahawks being 6-5 at this point, which is what exactly they are. So they're actually on track to what I thought they would be. But that also means that I had them sweeping the Cardinals, beating the Jets, beating the Packers and the Vikings. But I think I had them losing to the Rams, but we were supposed to beat them the first time. So I don't know. In my crazy world, it's not that exactly clear. Bottom line is we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go before this becomes a game or a season where we got this thing locked up. It's gonna be a while. So we got to get through it 1 week at a time. That next game is the New York Jets. Yeah, they've been struggling, but we got to get it together. And let me see if I can pull up the odds. What are the initial odds on this game as I go to BetUS here? And let me see what I got here. So hang on a second. Let me just do a little something. We'll work this out. I'm going to try to see if I can get the odds on this game. Where is it? Here we go. All right. Getting to BetUS. I just want to see what the odds are for this game coming up. I think we're favored. Finally. Favored here. It's been a while since we've been favored, you know what I'm saying? But let me just see what we got in terms of the actual numbers here. Okay, so let me go to it. All right. Hey, what's that music? Turn that down. Hey, quiet. I don't need no jazzy music playing right now. All right. Turn that down for a second. Okay, so let's go to BetUS, my sponsor of this show. And I'm trying to pull up the lines for week 13. And of course, it's not working the way it's supposed to. Oh, wait, here we go. So I go to BetUS.com click on the game. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Here's the odds. All right. So we're going to scroll down here. So if you were to sign up for BetUS, set up your account, you put in that code YouTube150, they'll match you 150% of your initial deposit and 125% on the next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Void where prohibited, because in Washington they actually don't allow online gaming unless you're on tribal lands. It's very complicated. Okay, we don't need to chat right now. I'm busy. Okay, so we go to the window here. Let's go to our game. Where are we? There we go. So 1 p.m., that means it's a 10 a.m. game for Seattle. It's the Seahawks at the Jets. Seahawks are 1-point favorites, which is not very much. I'm kind of surprised it's not a little more than that. So it's a 1-point favorite for Seattle. So let's say if you were going to bet and say, okay, I'll take that bet. What would I get if I were to put $100 on this game? So you click on Seattle, you put 100 in here, and that you would win $80 with Seahawks being the favorites. If you wanted to take that bet, that's what it would be. Let's say you were to change this. Let's just remove that one. Let's clear it. Let's start back over. Let's say it's going to be, let's say if you were going to pick the Jets and the underdog, probably going to be similar, but if you put $100 in there, you'd actually get 105 of your 100 back if you were to pick the Jets to win this as 1-point underdogs. Anyway, so that's how it works. So if you are curious about that, you can go to BetUS and enter the code YouTube150. So thank you, BetUS, for Sportsbook and Casino for sponsoring this video. So that's it for the time being. I got a lot of videos coming up this week. I got the music video to predict the game between the Seahawks and the Jets. I'm going to do some wrap-up kind of best of moments of the last game, that this home win against the Cardinals. And there might be a Chrysostom video in the future here, just to talk a little bit about the current situation over at Niner Empire. That should be fun. All right, well, that's it. So thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, and for everybody who called. Again, happy birthday to Alena Dahl, fabulous moderator on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. And I think that is it. We'll talk to y'all later. Go Hawks. Go to BetUS right now. If you sign up, put the code YouTube150, you'll get 150% matching deposit on the first deposit and 125% on the next 2. Good night.